Stage 1. The decision. You open your fridge and stare at it. There's a half-empty bottle of ketchup, some leftover takeout from 3 days ago, and a bag of spinach that's turning into liquid. You close it, open a delivery app, scroll for 10 minutes, and nothing sounds good and everything costs $18 before tip. You've spent $400 on food this month and you can't point to a single real meal you cooked. You scroll Instagram and see a video of someone opening a fridge full of stacked containers. Chicken, rice, vegetables, all in rows. It looks clean, organized, like the fridge of someone who has their life together. You screenshot it. You watch 3 more meal prep videos and they all make it look easy. 30 minutes, a whole week. You Google meal prep for beginners and save a grocery list you'll forget about by Tuesday. You tell yourself Sunday is the day and set a reminder on your phone. You order a set of glass containers from Amazon. They arrive in 2 days and they sit on your counter unopened. You watch another video where someone makes 5 different meals in one session and the kitchen barely looks dirty when they're done, and you save that one too. Sunday comes. You unbox the containers and line them up on the counter. 10 of them, clean, empty, waiting. You feel like something already changed. Stage 2. The first grocery run. You walk into the store with a list on your phone that you found online. Chicken breast, rice, broccoli, sweet potatoes, eggs, olive oil, salt, pepper. You've never bought this much raw food at once. You stand in the meat section and stare at the packages trying to figure out how much chicken feeds one person for 5 days. You guess grab 2 pounds and hope it's enough. You buy a bag of rice you've never cooked before and broccoli you're not sure if you're supposed to steam or roast, so you grab both fresh and frozen just in case. You buy sweet potatoes because every meal prep video includes them. You stand in the seasoning aisle and grab garlic powder because someone said it's essential, and you don't buy much else because you think salt, pepper, and garlic powder is enough. You will learn. You check out, and the total is $55, which is less than 3 delivery orders. You look at the receipt in the parking lot and realize you could eat for a full work week on what you spent on 2 dinners last weekend. You drive home with the bags on the passenger seat and feel like you just made a decision that matters. Stage 3. The first cook. You stand in your kitchen and look at the raw ingredients on the counter and realize you don't have a plan. You pull up the video you saved and try to follow along. You season the chicken with salt, pepper, and garlic powder and put it in the oven at 400 because that's what the video said. You boil water for the rice, stare at the bag for the ratio, and Google it. 2 cups water to 1 cup rice. You set a timer, wash the broccoli, and toss it on a sheet pan with olive oil. The kitchen gets hot, the oven beeps, and the rice bubbles over. You pull the chicken out and it looks dry. You cut into it and it's cooked but bland. The rice is sticky. The broccoli is fine. Not great, fine. You stand there sweating in your own kitchen and divide everything into 5 containers. The portions don't look even. One has too much rice, one has barely any chicken, and the last one is mostly broccoli. You close the lids and stack them in the fridge and step back and look at the row. It's not pretty, it's not Instagram. The chicken is pale and the rice is clumpy and one container has sauce leaking under the lid. But it's 5 meals that didn't exist an hour ago. You take a photo anyway. Stage 4. The first meal from the container. You open the fridge Monday at noon and pull out container number 1. You pop the lid and the smell is plain. You microwave it for 2 minutes and the chicken is rubbery. The rice is a little hard on the edges and the broccoli is soggy and pale. You eat it at your desk with a plastic fork and it's not good. It's bland. And the texture is off and you think about the pad thai you could have ordered instead. But it's food you made. It cost you less than $2. And it took you 0 minutes to decide on because the decision was made yesterday. You finish the whole thing and put the container in the sink. You don't love it, but you don't hate it, and you think about how to make it better next time. More seasoning, less cook time on the chicken, maybe some sauce. You eat container 2 on Tuesday and it tastes the same. By Wednesday, you're adding hot sauce to everything. By Thursday, you're Googling meal prep seasoning ideas at your desk. Friday, you eat the last one and it's the worst one, because it's been in the fridge the longest. The rice is dry, the chicken is tough, and you eat it anyway. You finish the week. 5 meals, no delivery, no drive-thru. You didn't love a single one, but you ate every one. That's the foundation. Stage 5. The seasoning revelation. You walk through the spice aisle for the first time with intent, not grabbing one thing and leaving, actually reading labels. You grab paprika, cumin, Italian seasoning, chili powder, onion powder, soy sauce, and a bottle of hot sauce that costs more than the one you've been drowning everything in. You go home and season the chicken before it goes in the oven, and you don't just sprinkle it, you coat it, you rub it in. The kitchen smells different this time. You marinate it for 30 minutes in soy sauce, garlic, and a little honey. You roast the broccoli at higher heat so the edges get crispy and charred instead of soft and pale. Then toss it in garlic and a squeeze of lemon right out of the oven. You cook the rice with a bay leaf and a pinch of salt in the water. You open the container Monday and the first bite is different. It has flavor, it has depth, and it tastes like something someone would choose to eat, not just tolerate. You finish it and you're not adding hot sauce to cover the blandness because you don't need to. You realize the food was never the problem, the seasoning was. You go back to the store the following week and buy lemon juice, rice vinegar, sesame oil, fresh cilantro, and a jar of chili crisp. You start looking up marinades on your phone while the chicken thaws. The containers stop being punishment and start being lunch. Stage 6. The system develops. You stop following videos because you know the formula now. A protein, a carb, a vegetable, a sauce. You rotate the protein every week. Chicken thighs, ground turkey, salmon, lean beef. You rotate the carb. Jasmine rice, sweet potatoes, pasta, quinoa. You rotate the vegetable based on what's cheap and, in season, broccoli, green beans, asparagus, roasted peppers, zucchini. You write your own grocery list on a notes app. You know what's in your pantry without checking, what needs restocking, and what will last another week. Sunday cooking takes 90 minutes, and you do it in batches. The protein goes in the oven first, the carbs go on the stove, and the vegetables roast last at a higher temperature. You move through the kitchen without checking your phone because you know the temperatures, the times, the portions, by feel. You divide everything into containers, and it's even now. The fridge is organized, the stack is clean, and you label nothing because you know what's in each one by the color of the sauce. You start cooking for more than 5 days, making 10 containers, 5 for lunch and 5 for dinner. You freeze the ones you won't eat until Thursday. You start buying in bulk. The chicken comes in a 5-pound bag, the rice comes in a 10-pound sack, and your grocery bill drops. Your delivery app sends you a notification you haven't ordered in 3 weeks. Stage 7. The boredom hits week, 5 or 6. You open the container and you know exactly what it tastes like before the lid comes off. The chicken, the rice, the broccoli. Again, you chew and it's fine, but your brain is tired of it. You eat the same meal for the 25th time and your jaw moves, but your mind is somewhere else. You start eating slower, start skipping the last container of the week because you'd rather go hungry than eat the same meal one more time. You look at the delivery app. You open it, scroll, close it, open it again 10 minutes later, and close it again. You Google how to make meal prep not boring, and find a list of 30 recipes you'll try maybe 2 of. You add a new sauce, swap the grain, and throw a fried egg on top of the rice, and suddenly it feels like a different meal. It helps. You start making 2 different meals per week instead of 1. Monday through Wednesday is teriyaki chicken with jasmine rice. Thursday and Friday is taco bowls with ground turkey and black beans. The variety isn't huge, but it's enough to break the cycle. You learn that meal prep doesn't mean eating the same thing forever. It means having a system that bends without breaking. Stage 8. The social friction. Someone at work opens the microwave after you and says it smells good. Someone else asks what you're eating, you tell them, and they nod. Then the comments start. You're so disciplined. I could never do that. That looks depressing. Is that all you eat? You don't argue? You eat your food. You notice the same people who say that spend $15 on a salad from downstairs every day and complain about being broke. You don't say that either. At dinner with friends, you eat lighter because you already know what you had for lunch and what's waiting at home. Someone asks why you're not ordering an appetizer. You say you're fine, and they look at you like you're on a diet. You're not on a diet, you're just aware of what you've eaten today in a way you never were before. The containers follow you everywhere now. You bring one to work, to the airport, on road trips. You pack a cooler bag with an ice pack and 2 containers, and people ask if you're a bodybuilder or a fitness coach. You're not, you just don't want to spend $16 on airport food. That tastes worse than what you made Sunday night. You eat your meal at the gate while everyone else stands in line at the overpriced sandwich shop. The comments don't stop, but you stop hearing them. The system works. The opinions don't change the system. Stage 9. The efficiency phase. You time yourself now, not because you're obsessed, but because you want your Sunday back. You buy a second sheet pan so the protein and vegetables cook at the same time on different racks, and a rice cooker so you don't have to watch the stove. You prep the vegetables on Saturday night, Wash them, chop them, toss them in oil and seasoning in a bowl in the fridge, so Sunday is just cooking and assembly. You learn to use the oven broiler for the last 2 minutes to crisp the chicken skin, and that ground turkey cooks in 8 minutes in a skillet, and you can season it 4 different ways in the same week for 4 different meals. You cook everything in 60 minutes. It used to take 2 hours. Your kitchen is cleaner because you wash as you go now. One pot comes off the stove and goes straight into the sink. You wipe the counter once and you're done. The containers are filled, stacked, and in the fridge before the oven cools down. You sit on the couch and the week is handled. You don't think about food again until Monday at noon when you open the fridge and grab the first one. The decision is already made. The meal is already built. You just eat it and move on. Stage 10. The lifestyle. You don't remember when it happened, but somewhere between the first dry chicken breast and now, meal prepping stopped being something you do on Sundays and became the way you eat. It's not a phase, it's not a resolution, it's just how the week works. You walk through the grocery store on autopilot. You know the aisles, you know the prices, and you know what's in season and what's on sale and what lasts 5 days in the fridge versus 3. You don't follow recipes anymore. You taste as you go and adjust the seasoning by feel. A pinch more salt, a splash more acid, a heavier hand on the cumin this week. You know how long a chicken thigh takes at 425, that jasmine rice needs less water than basmati, and that roasted vegetables taste better with a squeeze of lemon right when they come out of the oven while the pan is still hot. Your fridge is full, your freezer has backups, and your pantry has every spice you need. Your grocery bill is half what it used to be, and you eat better than you did when you spent twice as much ordering in every night. Your body runs on food you chose, cooked and portioned yourself, and you know what's in it because you put it there. You open the container at lunch, and someone new at work watches you eat and asks how you do it. You tell them it's easy, you tell them it takes an hour, and you tell them the same thing someone told you before you started. You just have to cook. They nod the way you nodded 6 months ago. They'll try it or they won't. You close the container, wash it out, and put it back in the bag. Sunday is in 4 days. You already know what you're making.